Welcome to the CopperSpice YouTube channel.
I'm Ansel.
And I'm Barbara. We're producing a set of videos about modern C++, CopperSpice, and the other libraries and applications we've been working on. These videos are going to cover subjects like tandem programming, build systems, code review, and other open source development.
We're going to release new YouTube videos every other Thursday, with an occasional bonus video. Each of these videos will be about 10 to 15 minutes long, and generally, they'll be covering one specific topic.
We're the co-founders of CopperSpice, and in this video, we want to tell you who we are, what CopperSpice is, and introduce the libraries and applications we've been working on.
In later videos, we'll go much deeper into the details. Toward the end of this video, we'll have a slide with contact information, where to download CopperSpice, and links to GitHub. Now, we've been asked how we got started in programming and how the CopperSpice team came together. So let me first tell you a little bit about myself. I really found my love of computers as a teenager, helping my dad, who worked tech support at Intuit. I played a lot of video games, and then one day I installed Debian, version 1.3, and I got hooked. Some of my earlier work was for a startup using Java, which was a lot of fun, but Java wasn't the long-term path for me. I went back to school, completed my degree in computer science from Cal Poly, and I've been a C++ developer for over 15 years. Most of my experience has been centered around developing multi-threaded video broadcasting software, both for static and live streaming content. I really like writing network daemons, and reading the C++ standard is something I do in my free time. And I'm currently working as a consultant in C++.
My education in school was actually as an electrical engineer. But once I started working, it wasn't quite as much fun, and I found myself a bit bored at work. In my spare time, I was playing with computers, and this is something I did for fun. So after a while, I decided I think I need to make a switch away from working as an engineer in electronics and actually play with software. I actually started working out in assembly language and a bit of C. But I didn't find that low-level work to be as exciting as I wanted it to, and it wasn't that interesting. So I switched again, and I had a great opportunity at a company I was at to work on developing applications internally for them. Now, they were just GUI applications. They were for different departments. They solved one problem for each user, but it was exciting to me, and it was fun. I liked working on applications at a user level. Then I started switching to a compiled D-based language called Visual Objects. It's an object-oriented language. There's no pointers. It had garbage collection, and it was for Windows only. So my career focused around GUI applications, and I was doing this for about 20 years. And I've worked in software for ground transportation industry work, inventory control systems. I did a project for the Army Corps of Engineers and medical billing. And all this later work I did was as a consultant for my own company. Development in visual objects slowed down. And about 5 years ago, it started to really dwindle, and it became less viable as a programming language. So I needed to find a new language and a new avenue, and something that wasn't just for Windows. So I started using Qt and C++. This was back in 2009. It worked for a while, and then things started to dwindle again. Qt and C++ seemed to not quite work together as well as I wanted.
In late 2011, Barbara and I really started talking about what obstacles she was running into, and as a strong C++ developer, Qt really frustrated me. We spent the next 6 months looking at Qt and trying to figure out how we could help make it feel more natural to a C++ developer.
So our intention was to contribute to the Qt project. But as we looked into the details, we realized that there was going to be some issues, and our vision was not exactly where the Qt project was headed. This incompatibility led us to question, what should we really do? How should we really contribute? And after a while, about 6 months, we made a decision to start working on CopperSpice.
So now let's get started and tell you what CopperSpice is.
What is CopperSpice?
CopperSpice is a set of cross-platform libraries for developing GUI applications. And one of the main reasons we developed CopperSpice was to redesign the core libraries and leverage modern C++ functionality.
Internally, CopperSpice makes extensive use of modern C++. Features like variadic templates, sFine, lambdas, and the STL containers.
Since CopperSpice is a C++ library, it can be linked directly into any C++ application with no modification to your existing build systems.
CopperSpice was derived from Qt. One of the first tasks we worked on was to remove the meta-object compiler. Mock was responsible for implementing reflection and introspection. We have changed CopperSpice so that mock is no longer required, and everything involved with reflection and introspection is designed and developed directly using C++.
CopperSpice also can be built with either the AutoTools or CMake build systems. Along the way, we have added a new Unicode-aware string library, which will provide support for UTF-8 and UTF-16 strings. And we'll be talking more about that in a future video.
DoxyPress is a C++ application, and it's used to generate user and API documentation. Our motivation for developing DoxyPress was so that we could actually document the CopperSpice API. It was important to us to be able to accurately document a C++ application, and DoxyPress solves that need.
DoxyPress was derived from the Doxygen tool, but it's written in modern C++ using the CopperSpice libraries. We've added the ability to parse the C++ source code using Clang, and it supports a variety of output formats, including HTML, PDF, and XML.
DoxyPress app is a GUI front-end for DoxyPress. You can use the GUI front-end, but if you prefer, you could also use DoxyPress from a command line. Diamond is a cross-platform editor that I developed. It's also written in C++, and it also uses the CopperSpice libraries. The Diamond project actually began as a replacement for several different editors that were Windows-only programs that are obsolete and they're no longer supported.
Kitchen Sink is an application that contains about 30 demos. It's written in C++ and it's built using most of the CopperSpice libraries. And its purpose is to demonstrate how to use the CopperSpice libraries to accomplish various tasks, such as showing a calendar, tabs, drawing, dialogues, trees, tables, and such. LibGuarded is a library for handling shared data in a multi-threaded environment. It's a standalone library that we've integrated back into CopperSpice, and we'll be speaking more about this in a future video as well.
CS Signal Library is a thread-aware signal slot library. It's also a standalone library. It does integrate with LibGuarded, and CS Signal was also integrated with CopperSpice. We'll be doing a video later on that will talk more in detail about the Signal library.
The CS String library, as I mentioned earlier, is a Unicode-aware string support library. It supports UTF-8 and UTF-16 strings, as well as the ability to add additional encodings. It's a standalone library, and we've integrated it into CopperSpice as well. Now, if you've been thinking of contributing to an open source project, we encourage you to take a look at CopperSpice.
So how can you get involved with our projects? We love contributors, and we love anybody who wants to help with testing. Contributing, if you have an idea, a suggestion, maybe a few lines of code you'd like to contribute, or maybe help with packaging.
We also would like your help with testing. Anything in the CopperSpice source code can definitely benefit from additional testing. Building or installing on your favorite platform is a great help. You could help us proofread the API documentation for correctness and clarity, or simply use CopperSpice or DoxyPress or any of our other products and let us know what you experience.
To download CopperSpice or any of these products, go to our download.copperspice.com. The source, the binaries, the documentation, it is all up there. If you would like to go to GitHub, you can check out the repository. and you can be part of our discussion on our forum at CopperSpice.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you, your comments and suggestions. Thank you for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to email us.
Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and come back in 2 weeks for our next video.